What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a crochet tutorial video for you. This is for beginners, people who have maybe never crocheted before. There are 4 different stitches that I show you how to do. I made this because I also have a crochet project video which you can see in the link from the link down below. So if you're just looking for a quick and easy tutorial on how to crochet something, these are basic stitches, plain stitches that you can use for scarves, hats, anything like that. If you want to get really ambitious and go for a blanket, all across the board, these are stitches that'll work for you every time. So let's go ahead and get started. Here I'm going to show you how to do a really basic crochet tutorial. So this is the crochet hook I'm going to use. If I can get the camera to focus here, it'll tell you in the center the size of the hook. So this is an I hook, and that gives you the actual dimensions. This is a really regular size hook, a pretty standard. You can get ones that are much larger or much smaller, but this is a really good basic size. The project I'm going to be doing is really small, so I'm going to just use this little ball of yarn today. So the first thing we're going to do is make a loop in the yarn. This is where you're always going to start with your project. And you want to do the loop like I did here so that you'll be able to tighten it or loosen it by pulling the shorter thread. That's how you know that you've done it right. That's the kind of loop you want to start with. So the first thing you need to know when you get your hook ready to go is you're going to wrap your yarn around your finger. You can wrap it around your hand just to stabilize it as you work. I like to wrap it around my finger twice like that so that the yarn isn't too loose or too tight as I pull it. So this motion I'm doing right here is called yarning over. That's where you pull the yarn around your crochet hook and you're going to pull it through the loop on your hook. So this first stitch I'm doing is called a chain stitch. This is how you're going to start any project you're working with. You're just going to keep yarning over and pulling the yarn through your loop to create what looks like a chain. And there's the front and the back of it. So I'll just chain a few more here so I can give you a better example. Now the next stitch I'm going to show you is something called the slip stitch. This is a way to combine loops of your chain. So if I was going to make like a hat or something that was a circle base, that I didn't want to add an extra stitch, I just wanted to combine 2 ends together, I would use the slip stitch. So you'll put your crochet hook through the loops and just pull it straight through. And that's your slip stitch. That's just a good one to know, but we're not going to be using that for the little sample I'm showing you today. So once you have your chain stitch, which is going to be the base of whatever you're starting, you're going to go ahead and start the next row. So to do that, you need to chain a few extra links so that you can build up to the next layer that you're working with. So that's what I'm doing here. I am chaining a couple of extra stitches because I'm going to start my first row of the crochet stitches. So this stitch is called a single crochet. And you can see I've placed my crochet hook into the first chain link. You yarn over and pull through the first loop, then yarn over and pull through both loops. And I'll do that a few more times here so you can see. And I'll just go ahead and go across so you can get a good idea of what that looks like. I like to do this sometimes when I'm working so that I'm not yanking on the yarn all the time, I'll pull out a few strands of yarn so that I just have like a little pile I can work from. And I'll just go ahead and do the single crochet all the way across. On your first row, it'll kind of curl up like that. That'll spread out and straighten out once you have moved further through it. This is a close-up of what it looks like from the front and from the back. So now we'll move on to the next one, and I'll go ahead and do it in the next row so that I can show you a difference. So I've chained 3 there. I've chained an extra one this time because I'm going to be doing a taller stitch than the previous one. So the next row, we're going to do the double crochet. So instead of just putting our hook straight into the row before, this time we're going to yarn over once, then go into the stitch loop. You're going to pull through the first loop, then yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, then yarn over once more and through the last 2. And that's your double crochet. So I'll do that again here for you. First 2 and the last 2. It's pretty simple. It's not too fancy, but it looks pretty fancy when you're finished, but it's not too complicated. And as you can see, now the project isn't curling up on me so bad now that I'm working back the other way and I'm building it up more so it doesn't get in the way so much as that first row did. So here you can see the difference between the first row, which is the single crochet, and the second row, which is the double crochet. And here's what it looks like from the other side. Okay, so once you're finished, you'll cut off your yarn and then you'll take that tail and pull it through your final loop and pull that tight to create sort of a knot. And you can just tie a double knot there and cut off the tail, but I prefer to weave the tail back through your project a little bit. I think it makes it less noticeable when you cut the tail off at the end. And those are your 4 most basic crochet stitches. You can use them for just about any project. They're really basic and really simple to build off of. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and maybe you can get started crocheting your own projects. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.